like, hi, Scotland.
We're going to do a Scotland loves
Of course. I love Scotland. I have Scottish blood.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
the very
I
best
have.
of us do.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations on a brilliant series. Tell us quickly, Nicole, what makes a perfect couple?
There is no perfect. That's the truth, right? I think when you're aiming to be perfect, that's when you get in trouble. When you go with the flow, and as Greer says, I don't want to be the perfect couple. They're sort of getting classified as that, but as you see the curtain drawn back, you're like, oh my God. So hopefully people, find it entertaining and exciting and kind of addictive. I hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!